I just killed a snake with a lawnmower. Reddit. What decisions have you made in emergency situations that you immediately regretted? I was walking out of the kitchen with a full, probably too full, plate of spaghetti and marbles. My cat got underfoot, and I stumbled, causing a large portion of the still steaming hot semi-Italian awesomeness to slop off the plate and suspend itself in midair momentarily. Reacting with reflexes faster than that dumb cat still under my foot, I reached out and grabbed the noodles. End result, a handful of slippery noodles desperately clutched in my outstretched hand. Spaghetti sauce on the carpet, wall, pants, a chair, and that still too dumb to move cat. Eventual first degree burns. And both my girlfriend and my mom rolling on the floor making these weird high-pitched squeal barking noises I assume were a reaction of mirth. The stain is still on my parents' carpet, and they point it out regularly. I was about to return the rental car and pay for the fact that the gas wasn't filled up all the way. I had 10 extra minutes, so I decided to find a gas station and avoid the fee. Missed the plane by 10 minutes, had to take 3 connections, 2 flight delays and 8 extra hours of flying. Oh, and did I mention I was traveling with 2 very small children? Yay, not fun. All to save $30. I was ironing and noticed the iron was about to fall off the bench. You can figure out the rest. Did the same thing with a 12-inch kitchen knife in the kitchen where I used to work. Luckily my hand-eye coordination is crap, otherwise I don't think I would be typing this quickly. I had one of those styrofoam cups that holds drinks, usually sold at fast food places. Anyway, I accidentally poked a hole on the bottom with my straw causing the drink to leak. I immediately flipped it over causing the entire drink to spill on my lap while I'm at a stoplight. Not a smart move. Attempting to get my sunglasses back off a cute guy. Thumb up his nose. Massive nosebleed. Must have been a virgin nose. My brain automatically goes into reflex mode when I drop something, and I make a kicking motion with my foot to try and catch it. I'm not at all sure why I do this, but I've done it for years. I think maybe it worked once, and my brain thinks it'll work every time. It doesn't. The worst offense of this was when I tried to make myself a soft serve ice cream cone at a cafeteria. After filling the cone, I accidentally dropped it, to which my brain responded, "I got this." I immediately stuck my foot up to catch the cone, and I shattered the cone, sending ice cream and waffle cone bits everywhere. The worst part was upon realizing what I had done, I imagined what it must have looked like from the perspective of the janitor that was standing 6 feet from me. I imagined him mopping up the floor only to see some piss and drop kicking a full ice cream cone. He stared at me, completely blank-faced as if to say, "You've got to be freaking with me," and my brain, making the ever so brilliant rash decisions it does, goes into rushed explanation mode to try and save itself. Unfortunately, I tripped over my own tongue and the only thing that came out verbally was a half whimpering "yoo-oo." If you've ever seen Parks and Recreation, it sounded exactly like Tom Haverford's apology whimpering. My friends bring it up ever so often, and it's still one of the most embarrassing situations I can recall. So I was using a hot glue gun to glue this project together for school when I got a glob of hot glue on my finger. I instinctively stuck the finger in my mouth to cool it. Instant mistake. I then had this string of hot glue going from my mouth to my finger. I burned my tongue, lips, and finger. From then on out, I kept a bowl of water near me when hot gluing things. I just wanna say those jeans probably aren't ruined. Soak in cool water. Use spray and wash, OxyClean or a stain remover designed for blood. Wash in cold water. Check before you move them to the dryer. Repeat process if necessary, before letting dry or exposing to heat. Source: periods. Till a period is akin to catching a snake in a lawnmower and getting the resultant bloodbath on your pants. Once I made the perfect pancake. Perfect. We're talking perfect circle, perfect fluff, perfectly golden, perfect. I went to put it on my plate from the frying pan and oh god, it fell on the floor. What do I do? What do I do? I know. Wash it off real fast and no one will know. So there I am, 10 minutes later, crying over the running tap with the once perfect pancake soaked in my hands. I was soldering some stuff when the soldering iron started rolling off the table. I instinctively grabbed at it, except I grabbed the wrong end. This reminds me of hot glue. When I make a mistake, sometimes I immediately grab the molten hot glue. That reaction has ended in second-degree burns twice. I have also soldered before, and now do it quite frequently. I remember burning myself on it and it was not very pleasant. Every time I go for a mosquito and end up slapping myself in the face, I silently curse the gods. I once spilled a cup of boiling hot tea on my crotch and thin pajama-clad thighs. I freaked out and attempted to throw the cup away from me, only for it to spill more hot boiling liquid on me. Then I spun in circles for a few seconds, screaming, until my boyfriend threw me in a cool bath. I don't do well in high-stress situations. It's a good thing you have cool baths just prepared for something like this. As someone who has run over an aggressive, venomous snake with a lawnmower, I've also killed 2 more with shovels, and 1 with my feet due to lack of mowers or shovels. Keep those instincts. If you hesitate, you die. Source: I once punched a funnel web spider to death. You can trust me. Sounds like you're Australian. Crap. I need to poop. And I think there is some fart buildup too. Okay, well, let me just relieve myself a bit and release some of the fart ever so frick. I pooped myself. This happened in 3rd grade. We've all gambled on a fart and lost. A friend of mine was extremely intoxicated and started to get violent. As we were trying to calm her down, she started hitting me. Without thinking, I chicken winged her and popped her arm out of socket. Sitting next to her in the cab on the way to the hospital sucked. A moth landed on my phone's lit screen when I was standing outside one night and I flicked my wrist to scare it off. My whole phone went flying and landed on the concrete with that terrible noise something makes when you know it's going to break. The screen was unusable after that. Dang moth. Try the ghost pepper hot sauce, they said. It will be fun, they said. Attempting to flick a hat off from a bouncer's head, flicking him straight in the eye instead. Everclear. Clicking on any link that people have tagged NSFL. So many deaths. If that's the case, stay away from our morbid reality and our watch POPD. Continuing games without saving. A few days ago, I saw a spider in the shower. It crawled onto a shampoo bottle. I picked it up and started smashing it against the wall, but didn't realize the shampoo was open. Shampoo and spider guts all over the wall. Your username is the best thing I have ever read. I am a classical piano student and on the night before a major in-class performance, I flipped over my handlebars while biking home. Mid-fall, I kid you not, I told myself I couldn't use my hands to brace my fall because that would possibly ruin my career, so I used my face. Right as I was letting my dog out of the kennel, I saw a rabbit a couple feet away. Instead of leaving the dog in the kennel, I opened it. The dog tore the rabbit to pieces in front of my face. I was doing improv and ran out of ideas. I'm a theater major. During a mom-son scene, me being the son, so the girl playing the mom starts on a mad rant on my character and I respond with, "So mom, is it that time of month again?" I sort of died. I live in a semi-rural city that has a lot of wildlife. One summer the grey squirrels had a population explosion. They were everywhere. Well, one morning, one started chattering away at about sunup and continued its little chuff 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 brrr rap territorial display for about 4 hours. I had been up late working the night before and was trying to sleep in. After tossing and turning for quite a while, I had enough. I grabbed my pellet gun, dropped a BB in it, and pumped it 1.177 air gun, one step above Nerf. My bedroom window had long ago lost its screen, so I leaned out, drew a bead on the squirrel's ass, and let a rip. Well, shooting a BB is like shooting a musket ball, and I'll be damned if I didn't get him right in the eye. He had the death motions of the finest Shakespearean actor. It was awful. Needless to say, I didn't get back to sleep, and my pellet gun sat in my shop for about 5 years after that. I couldn't stomach picking it up. Mine was the decision to do nothing. I was on the MAX train, a public transit train in Portland, at around 10:30 p.m. last October with a bunch of friends. At one of the stops, a young, mixed-race girl around our age, high school, ran on. She wasn't screaming, nor was she asking for help. She was shortly followed by a middle-aged white man who claimed she was his daughter and a runaway. She said she was not yelling, nor asking for help at all, that she wasn't his daughter, and he had been choking her. He grabbed her by her sweatshirt and started dragging her off of the maximum. 2 of my friends took several years of kung fu, and the other 2 are both 6 feet 3 inches. I naturally assumed one of them would do something, but they didn't. I shouldn't have assumed that. In all honesty, I think I could beat any one of them in a fight. We all just watched this girl get dragged off of the train, and we continued on our way. It still haunts me to know that I could have helped her, but I didn't. I've justified it publicly to my friends by saying she never asked for help. I think she would have if she needed it, but that is balls. It doesn't help that all my friends thought I would do something when it was happening. Bystander effect. My Jack Russell was barking at something in the bushes. I could tell there was something in there. I forced it to run out of the bushes. It was a groundhog. My Jack mortally wounded it, and I put it out of its misery with a blow to the head with my practice sword. I should have just taken my dog inside. Sorry, groundhog. The first time I read that, I thought it was a warthog that mortally wounded your dog. Talking about religion on Reddit. Horrible experience. I hit a toad while mowing my lawn. Put a nice dent in the top of his head, but he was still able to hop around. I passed over him again, finishing what I accidentally started. I like to think I did the right thing. I once saw a lizard while holding a hockey stick. For reasons unknown to me, I immediately hit it and killed it. I don't know why, because I love lizards. I read it as, I once saw a lizard holding a hockey stick. I texted my ex a day after we broke up. Dude, your jeans now have snake blood on them. What could be more badass than snake blood jeans? Not pulling out. I'd say not wearing a condom was your problem. Happened when I was in my early teens and is therefore really freaking stupid. I was drinking beer in a park with friends and suddenly, the cops come out from around the corner. I hide my beer in my bag because drinking in public is prohibited and the cops walk past. Nothing happened. I high-five my friends for dodging a €20 fine while I open my bag and see that the beer has ruined all electronic devices in my bag, including my phone and my MP3 player. Being young and stupid sucked. I was in the process of evacuating for Katrina. My parents are divorced, so I had crap to get at my mom's house. I went over there and they had already left and there was clothes and party crap everywhere. They had had a party the night before, so did I. To be fair, no one expected it to be as bad as it was. Anyway, I go around the house picking up miscellaneous items that belong to me and my brother that I would want to save. I take the video game systems and put them on the top of the bed. We were always told that if water got in the house, it wouldn't be much. The water was over the roof. As I'm doing this, I notice that the plastic pet carrier is empty, laying on the floor. My mom has a cat that she got for my brother and I that we got after my parents' divorce. I hadn't seen him and assumed that my mom had taken him. When I saw the carrier there, I wondered if he was still there, but typically he was loud and patrolling the house. If I hadn't seen him, then I assumed he had been taken. Maybe they couldn't get him in the carrier, so they just took him. Nope. They had left him under the bed, and from what I can tell, that's where he stayed when the water rushed in. He wouldn't let them put him inside it, and they assumed the hurricane wouldn't be too bad. If I had just looked under the bed, I'd have saved him maybe. A snake I had only just seen. I lawn-mowed into smithereens. Now I'm in a cold sweat, and I'm filled with regret, cause there's snake all over my jeans. We have witnessed the birth of something mildly amusing.
Oh, hey, don't mind me. I'm just working hard on the next Dude Man video. Hey, by the way, if you want more awesome content like this, you should check that channel out. What you should. You should want to watch more awesome content. Then head on over to Dude Man. I'm Lunar Steve and I'm the host over there. Go give it a look. I hope you like what you see.